Yo, what's up everybody? How's it going? Today we're playing Venomancer, we're going into the mid lane. This was random draft. And yeah, I mean we're just gonna like kind of beat some stuff up. Venomancer got nerfed a lot in the recent patches. Like one of the biggest changes was really he doesn't do any attack damage anymore, and he lost his like 30% experience gain talent. But at the same time, they also like kind of like took away his like burst of levels and going nutty, and instead gave him like more sustained power throughout the game, which is kind of cool. But his early game still kind of sucks. So we need to get like early stats, like try to maximize our attack damage as much as possible, and then gotta grab ourselves what's it called? Like just lots of farm as much as we can, right? Be scary, be around the map, all of that. Maybe Hand of Midas. I'm not sure. But yeah, I'm playing mid here. Like, I'm kind of trying to not play safe lane carry with... What? Okay. I'm trying to not play safe lane carry with Battle Fury every single game, because that's just... You know. Like, as much as it's fun, I really, I missed that one too. How many have I missed already? This is... Come on, man. Like, I'm just trying to hit him, by the way. Like, I don't really care too much about the creeps. It's gonna be very difficult to stop him from getting these last hits. Unless I get him low on HP. Just because he's Earthshaker and he does 1,000,000 attack damage. Like, as much as Earthshaker shouldn't be in this mid lane, Earthshaker is not the worst mid laner in the game. Not by a long shot. Because, like, the W, it's just kind of scary, you know? Like, you can really last it with that. So. Anyway. I've got this quest. Debuff enemy heroes with movement speed slows. Which is pretty easy, I would say. I just gotta, like, attack this dude. I might be able to complete this quest in the laning phase, like, honestly. Like, this is a freebie. Alright, anyway. Miss... Okay, we got at least stab onto it. But yeah, we're just kind of gonna get ourselves the Akira going on right away, because that's like the most important thing. We're just gonna get more stats. And second point into Poison Sting. So the second point into Poison Sting is just Q and W on Venomancer have really good kind of like second point value. I don't know how you would describe that. You know, like usually if an ability has like a really good first level, you say it's a value point. These right here have second point value points, where they become really powerful at level 2. Hey, Suez Awoken, thank you so much for the sub, my man. Appreciate it. Okay, we got the attack out, that's the important thing there. Torrent, and he should be dead. Oh, what? I was still in tower range, what the fuck? Really? I didn't expect to still be in tower range after that. Huh. Yeah, my positioning there was like mildly off, like balls. Alright. It's fine. We died after we killed him. There was nobody there to get any sort of experience, and in the end it all worked out fine. So, it's all good. All good. Also gonna get a second point into Gale, right? Like, that's what I mentioned earlier. It's just like, they have great second point value points. So, gotta get ourselves 2 points into them. Alright. Gonna see he's gonna take a lot of damage just from these two. Like, it just adds up, right? Anyway, next up here, I think it's gonna be some good old boots. And then, I don't know, do we get Hand of Midas? What do you guys think? Like, we definitely want something that kind of lets us farm a bit. That's always a good idea. Like, this game may very well go into the late game, although there's no guarantee. It's definitely not a clear-cut situation. Nah, this kind of sucks a bit. Alright. Let's go ahead and go back. Oh, should I get an Orb of Venom? Is that still something to buy? Didn't that get nerfed? Oh, come on. Didn't that get nerfed? I thought Orb of Venom got nerfed. Gotta look at that really quick in just a second. Alright. Because, like, the Mega Slow. 3 damage, 4% slow. No, it seems still the same, okay. Cool. Somehow that actually made me complete my quest. That's funny. But yeah, you can see, you know, like the 2 points into these, we're just kind of like able to harass him down so easily. Because it's just like, it's just so much additional power from that second point into. Meme hammer. Oh, I actually like that. I want to get a meme hammer. That's actually a farming item. I'm not even joking. It's actually a really solid farming item. And it makes sense. I like it. I like it. Ah. That sounds cool. Hey, Makul1. Thank you for the sub, my man. Appreciate it very much. But yeah. I'm just I'm excited about the Meteor Hammer idea. I like that one. I think that's gonna be really powerful. I think that's gonna be really powerful. What do you mean, new map, new hero? Oh, for OAA. We were testing that earlier. New map, new hero. Yeah. So some exciting stuff happening, man. Some exciting stuff happening. Have I ever read Ender's Game? No, I should though. Although I probably won't have time to read it, but I'll probably watch the movie. Is the movie any good? Hope the movie is any good. Does the movie convey the message of the book? Alright, like, does it like actually cover the book? That's what I need to know. So. No, it's not good. Ah, that's disappointing. Read the book. I don't have time to read a book, man. Just don't have time for that. You know how much time reading a book takes? Like, I can put on a movie and, like, work in the meantime. Like, I can kind of split my time, so it's not all wasted. Reading a book takes forever, though. Like, that's just a lot of effort to read a book. It's kind of a shame. You know, I wish I wasn't saying that right now. I wish I could just say reading a book. Yeah, you know what? I'll read that book. But I honestly can't because I'm like, there's no time. I don't have time to read a book, right? I kind of hate that. Kind of hate that a little bit. Because it's like, damn, who doesn't have time to read a book, man? Reading books is nice. I used to read a lot. Now I don't read at all. Alright. Oh well. One day I'll get back to reading. There's actually quite a few books I want to read. Like, quite a few things I'm interested in. Audible's great. Audiobooks don't work. The problem is that, like, audiobooks require a lot of attention. I can watch movies and such and TV shows on my second screen and just be fine with it. Because, like, movies and TV shows tend to be a lot of dialogue. Right? Like, most of the, like, sound that you need to really worry about is dialogue, and that's pretty easy to keep track of. Right? Especially if you, like, occasionally glance over and all of that. But audiobooks, you really gotta pay attention. And that's the problem I have, you know, like paying attention is the difficult part because, like, what I do in the meantime is writing, you know, I write my game design documents and all of that stuff, and that requires a lot of attention as well. So, gotta be able to think in the meantime. I find that difficult with audiobooks, but I can do it with, like, movies and such. Alright. Can you please use the courier? I don't know why it's just sitting down there. Like, I have items on there. I would really like it if I could get them. Not yet. Like, that would be great. Trust me, you won't regret it. You won't regret it. Alright. Yeah, we should pause again. Let's hope he comes back. I wouldn't be too surprised if he does come back. I'm sure he's trying. Like, you gotta keep in mind, like, maybe his computer crashed or something, and, like, he doesn't have an SSD, and it just takes 5 minutes for him to start his computer. Alright, like, that could very well be a thing, and in that case, he wouldn't be back yet. Even if he's trying, he wouldn't be back yet. Alright, the fastest time he could be back at would be in, like, 2 minutes or so. So, yeah, just kind of gotta wait it out a bit. But there we go. Nice unpause. Well done, boys. Well, I guess we'll play 4 vs 5. I'm not afraid to do that. Fuck you up 4 vs 5. Nice ultimate. Okay. I kind of have to get out of here. I'm gonna go to the shrine and heal up.
Too bad about your top tower.
Heal up. I mean, I would love to come help, but I am... Well, I'm on my way, I guess. Well, that's a kill. So that's good. Nice. Don't abandon if he abandons. We'll just keep going. We'll fuck him up. Hey, BlizzOX, thank you for the sub, my man. Appreciate it very much. 2 months. Let's keep that up, man. Let's go. Ah, yeah. Alright. Oh, there's the Earthshaker. Yeah, I'm dead. There's nothing I can do. Alright. I recently got into competitive SSBM and I was wondering who you thought is the current best player. I know it used to be Ken and Meter King, but what about now? Oh. Well, you really want to get into that discussion. Alright, my friend. Let's do it. So, it used to be Ken until 2006. Then it was Meter King for about a year. Now, a lot of time has passed since then, and to kind of like skip past all of the history, right, like, the 5 players have established themselves as the 5 best players. Like, there was, like, over a long period of time, those 5 players were the best players in the world. These players are now called the 5 gods. One of them has kind of retired. We don't really see him around. It's because of a sickness. He can't play right now. Like, we are all hoping he comes back one day, but nobody really knows if he actually ever will. That is PPMD. The other 4, Hungrybox, Mangle, Meter King, and Armada are still active. Currently, Hungrybox is considered to be the best player in the world. Although, this always trades back and forth. So, I think 2013 to 2014, Mangle was considered to be the best. And then 2015, 2016, it was Armada. And then, most recently, it was Hungrybox. Right? So, it's like always something where there's no clear, you know, like, oh, this guy is always the best guy. It just kind of like changes around a lot, and yeah, as I mentioned, currently it's Hungrybox. Hungrybox being Jigglypuff player. Now, this kind of like echelon of gods, I know that sounds really cheesy, but it's actually kind of like an accurate description. I'm gonna regret this. I regret it. Wow, I regret that so hard. That totally did not work out. Oh, I missed everything there, holy shit. Alright, but that echelon of gods, right, those 5 players, are called that because for a very, very long time, they were the only players that won tournaments, right? So as long as a god was at a tournament, that god would win the tournament. And as long as multiple gods were at a tournament, well, those gods would share the like top placements at the tournament, right? So you have 4 gods in a tournament. That means places 1 through 4 are the 4 gods. Now, it always changed a bit who actually was number 1. That was always something that was kind of like you know, like in the air, and there were periods of time where it was very clear who was the best player, and periods of time where it really wasn't. But yeah, that's why they are called the gods. Now. This era of gods is currently coming to an end, and that's what makes current Melee super, super interesting. First, there was a player called Leffen. Now, Leffen is still active, Leffen is still very, very good, and Leffen is actually currently, I think, considered to be the 3rd best player in the world. No, 4th best player, I think. Yeah. So you may notice that Leffen I have mentioned not as a god, but he's still considered 4th best. Well, how does that work, right? Now, that's the thing. Leffen is the first to be a so-called god slayer. I know it's all super cheesy, but that's what makes it fun, right? Right? Leffen is the first to be considered a god slayer, meaning that he beat all 5 of the gods in tournament. Right? He was the only god slayer for a very, very long time. Right? For, I believe, 2 years? Leffen was the only one to actually manage to beat all 5 gods in tournament. Now, very recently, a new player has also popped up called Plup. Now, Plup isn't necessarily the newest player to the scene, but really only over the past 2 years has Plup started becoming a hugely significant tournament threat. He wasn't really that relevant at first, but now, absolutely. In fact, Plup won the recent Genesis 5. Now, let me tell you about why that is historically significant. Let me tell you about the Genesis series and the biggest rivalry in Smash. Mango and Armada. Now, Mango and Armada. Mango is the beer-drinking American shouting USA. And honestly, if he wasn't so incredibly likable in his general demeanor and character, he would be the world's biggest douchebag. But because he is so incredibly likable, he kind of gets away with it. Armada is the cool-headed European. He's from Sweden. He plays Peach. He's calculated. And he's considered to be the greatest of all time. And anybody that disagrees is an idiot and doesn't know what they're talking about. Armada is the greatest of all time. Alright? Ah, damn. We're like mega dead. Alright. But Armada is considered to be the greatest of all time. Just because of his tournament records. In fact, Armada was the one that was ranked first for 2 or 3 years in a row before Hungrybox took over. Right? Now, these 2 players kind of like rose to prominence at the same time. Or to relevance at the same time. You know, at first you had Mango kind of like rising in the ranks in America. And America is where most of the scene is, right? Rising the ranks and becoming like what they consider to be easily the best player in the world. Everybody was like, oh, Mango's the best. Clearly, he's winning everything. And he was winning everything. But then at the same time, you have Armada in Europe rising to the top. And also, everybody in Europe was like, Armada is clearly the best. He's winning everything. Right? And then finally, at the appropriately named Genesis, we have the big clash of the titans. Mango versus Armada. The fight of the century. The fight for who's best in the world. That was Genesis 1. Mango wins. Was pretty close, right? In fact, Mango actually lost the first set and then won the second 2 after being knocked into losers and coming back into grand finals. If you're interested in Melee history, watch Genesis 1 finals. They're fucking fantastic, right? Then later, like I think 1 or 2 years later, there was Genesis 2, the comeback, or like I guess you know, like the run back, not the comeback, where it was Armada versus Mango in finals again, but this time Armada won. So now it's 1-1. And then Genesis 3 happens. Now, between Genesis 2 and Genesis 3, I think there's a time gap of 7 years. It's a very long period of time passes between Genesis 1 and Genesis 3. But, well, that time passes, and then eventually we are at Genesis 3. And guess who gets into fucking grand finals again. It's Mango versus Armada. Armada takes this one, but damn if it wasn't hotly contested. Damn, those were some good ass shit games, right? But yeah, it's Mango versus Armada again. You may notice a pattern. Genesis 4 comes around a year later.
Your mid-tower's coming.
Who do you think is in fucking grand finals? That's right! It's Mango versus Armada. This time around, not so close. At this stage, Armada pretty clearly established himself as the best player in the world. He was just god tier. Like, he was winning everything. I think Armada went on like a 17 tournament win streak or something absurd like that. Now, Armada is also a little bit different than most players, and this is something we should mention at this stage. So the 5 gods, as I mentioned, they're kind of this like untouchable echelon. Now this has been slowly crumbling down, right? Slowly but surely, other players have been able to actually kind of come back into this and take sets from gods, right? Like Mango, for example, is very well known for this, that he occasionally will lose sets even to players outside of the top 10. Right, and this is true for every god. Like PPMD has done that, Mutaking has done that, Hungrybox has done that. They occasionally lose to people outside of you know, the rank of the god, outside of the top 5, or even outside of the top 10. That's something that happens. But as always, there's one exception, and that exception is the man himself. That is Armada, because Armada does not lose to somebody that is not top 5. In fact, Armada, the only players Armada lost to until the end of 2017, this was a streak that he had for, I believe, 7 years again, or 8 years, something like that, something absolutely absurd. The only people he had ever lost to were Mango, Hungrybox, PPMD, Mutaking, and Leffen. Now, Leffen got in there, I think, towards 2014 because he was the first God Slayer, right? But apart from those 5 players, Armada never lost to anybody. There are quite a few players in the world. There's like 4 or 5 players in the world that have beaten 4 of the 5 gods, but they did not manage to beat Armada because nobody beats Armada except a god. So that's kind of what's currently, like, this is something that's kind of like how you gotta think about it. If you're able to beat Armada, you're God. That's how it works. You gotta be able to beat Armada. End of 2017, Plop, a new player. Well, not necessarily new, but new in the like ranks of the top players, rising very quickly. He started out, I think, the year ahead of that at like rank 20. Like at rank, no, 2 years ahead of that, I think he was ranked like 30th or something. Then the year before that, then he was ranked 8th, right? 2017, big house. It's Plop versus Armada, winners semifinals. Plop has been doing so well. Plop is incredibly good at this game. It's absurd the kind of shit he does, right? There's a player called Abate. Abate is known for being a very good Luigi player. In fact, many consider him to be the best Luigi player. And Abate kind of got a little bit of attention because he managed to get 7th at a major tournament, which was the highest placing a Luigi player ever got. Well, it was pretty impressive, 7th. Right? Nobody else had ever gotten that high of a placing with Luigi. Until Plop went to a major tournament, picked Luigi, who he doesn't ever play, and nobody had ever seen his Luigi before, and gets 5th, right? So Plop just casually picked up a character that he doesn't play, and just immediately has the best result with that character ever, in the history of ever. Plop is now the world's best Luigi based on results. So that's Plop. Plop and Armada. They go into those winner semis, and Plop beats them. And it's like, holy shit! Everybody's mind is fucking blown. Because that officially makes him another God Slayer. Because nobody else, like, that's what you need to do. And everybody, but people are very skeptical to call somebody, like, to call a new god, right? People are very skeptical to call somebody on the same level as Armada and Hungrybox Mango and all of those people, right? Like it's just you don't want to do that. People don't want to admit that. And then Genesis 5 comes around. Genesis, the legendary series. You've got every single Genesis had Armada Mango finals. So what happens? Plop goes up against Armada, beats him. Mango goes up against Leffen, gets beaten. They both have to play each other for 4th. Armada ends up winning, but then gets knocked out by Hungrybox. Plop beats Hungrybox in winner finals. Takes it into Grands, loses the first set of Grands, but then makes the run back in a very, very close game. Game 5, last hit, last stock. Beats him and becomes a new god. Winning Genesis 5, the most legendary series in all of Melee. Beating Armada, beating Hungrybox, beating all of the gods in his way. Taking a tournament series that was almost dedicated to Armada and Mango. So where does that put us? Now, Hungrybox is currently considered to be the best in the world. It's just not even fucking close. Hungrybox is the best in the world. Like, anybody that says different is a fucking idiot, right? So Hungrybox is the best in the world right now. But Leffen and Plop are considered to be... Well, Armada is considered to be second best. But Hungrybox and Plop... you can make an argument that Plop is actually better than Armada, right? Or that... not Plop and Leffen, you could make an argument that they are better than Armada. So you could argue that they are either second or third best in the world, or the more realistic argument, which I think is a bit fairer towards Armada, because anybody that
Your Smash stories sound very similar to the Chinese novels I'm reading. 4 godlike figures being the peak of their time, dominating the ranks during tournaments.
Dude, it's
Then
a fucking
dark
anime.
forces, signaling the slaying of gods in the end of old eras.
Smash is an anime. Absolutely, man. Absolutely, Smash is an anime. That's all I gotta say. Thanks, Buddhist. Right? But
Come in handy.
Regeneration.
shit. Oh shit, that actually hit. I gotta get out. Walk in there! Disappointing. But currently you can argue that, like I personally think it goes Hungrybox, Armada, Plop Leffen, Mango, Mewtwo, right? So you can see that 2 players have actually managed to squeeze themselves above the gods, which is this is absurd. That doesn't happen in Melee, or it hasn't until now. So right now, in my opinion, is actually the most exciting time to watch Melee ever. Right? Right now is the best time to ever watch Melee. Why? Because you don't know who's gonna win. There's like actual good competitive players now where you wonder if they can do it. Right? Like, for a long, long time in Melee, as much as I love the game, right? Let's be completely honest. There just wasn't much in the sense of surprise results. Because, well, only these players win tournaments and nobody else does. That's just how it went, right? The question was never, like, really, you know, like... yeah, I guess the question was, like, which of these gods wins? But it was never like, I have no idea who is going to win. No, you always had an idea who is going to win. There was always a clear favorite. But right now, there isn't. There is no clear favorite. I mean, yes, okay, Hungrybox is a clear favorite. But even there, it's not obvious that he's gonna win. He's not got that much of a gap between himself and the rest of the world as it used to be. Right? Right now is the most exciting time to watch Melee ever. Absolutely. There's a tournament going on this weekend. Smash Summit 6 is coming up soon. Dude, that's the hot shit. Now, there's also some other players that I want to bring up. There's Young Visrope, man. Young Visrope. Young Visrope. Well, actually, usually just called Visrope. No, Wizrobe is a Captain Falcon player that to me proves that Captain Falcon is a good character. He not only plays the fucking best Captain Falcon in the world, but he makes the character look like a top tier character. He makes the character look like Captain Falcon is better than Captain Falcon is. It's like crazy. He's also somebody that can absolutely take a game off or like a set of every single god. With him, I believe it's just a matter of time until we get to see another God Slayer, as we call it. Oh, that's rude. Alright. So Wizrobe is a guy. And we got Axe. Now, admittedly, Axe, I gotta admit, I personally am less excited about. But Axe is the best Pikachu in the world. He's like super good. I just like, Axe has been ranked 8th or 7th in the world for like 700 years. And while that's really impressive, right, like that's super good and super impressive, he just doesn't make any progress, right? He's solid in the spot and he doesn't really ever get to a stage where I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna break into the god tier. Just don't really see that happening, right? Do you think Smash 5 is going to be competitive enough to replace Melee? Don't be fucking ridiculous. Nothing will ever replace Melee. 10 more years, man. 10 more years. Here's why nothing will ever replace Melee. Because Melee is the greatest game that was ever made. And there will never be a better game. Do you know why? Do you know why there can never be a better game than Melee? Because the guy that made Melee, which is the only person in the world that can actually make a better Melee, doesn't understand why Melee is good. Nobody will ever be able to make a better Melee. Because the only person that could doesn't know how. And I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. I just don't think I am. So I hope that was a good... was that the kind of answer you were looking for? I hope that was the kind of answer you were looking for. Meteor hammered up, bitches! Wait, how did I get silenced? What the fuck? Da, da, da. Man. Oh, come on, man. They just keep fucking stunning me. Annoying. So, wait, is the guy still here that actually asked about this? Is the guy actually here that asked about this? Because there was a guy here that asked whether, like, Ken is still the best or if it's Mewtwo King. The answer is neither. Neither of them is still the best. Ken still occasionally shows up and he plays, but he's just not... he doesn't compete anymore. Mewtwo King is still very good, although it seems unlikely he's gonna be taking any tournament victories anytime soon. Although he's still considered to be a clear, like, god, right? Does that make sense? I think it should make sense now if I say that. Right, like, the term god means something in Melee. And Mewtwo King is clearly still a god. He just is kind of the worst of the gods, and he's the least likely to actually take a tournament.
Good luck out there.
Alright, what the hell do I buy? I can't believe we're still in this game, by the way. It's fucking absurd. Aghanims, probably? Yeah. Probably Aghanims. But yeah, Mewtwo King is still clearly very, very good. But he's just not, like, gonna win any tournaments, I don't think so. He clearly has the potential to. Right, like, honestly, the thing about Mewtwo King that, like, basically everybody agrees is just that, like, he's got really bad mentality issues that are holding him back. Like, he kind of often defeats himself. Like, he'll do badly in a match, and then, like, get upset over it, and then not want to play the rest of the tournament, and then plays even worse next match, and then just drops out of the tournament. That is something that happens with Mewtwo King. Like, that's just something, and I think you can tell that that's probably not the best mindset for a competitor, right? Like, that's not what you're looking for from somebody that plans on winning a tournament. So, yeah. Have I seen Duck? Yeah, Duck is cool. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of Samus. And Duck isn't like necessarily a super top tier player. He's like pretty good in all of that, but he's not gonna win any tournaments. So, there we've got our Aghanim's here. I think it's actually pretty important. Like, my ultimate has been doing good work for us. Like, I don't know if you have noticed, but we've actually been picking up a lot of kills here and there. And that's really all Aghanims being, like, super significant. But yeah. Anyway. Another reason to watch Melee, by the way, is because Melee is different from all other esports. Every single other esports game, every single other significant esports game, I guess I should say, has a lot of money coming in from its main developer, right? Like, in case of Dota, you've got money coming in from Valve, and they support it actively, even through the compendium that is still coming from Valve, right, and from their support. You have got League just throwing money at their shit, like, you've got every other esport is being supported by its developer. Melee is different. Melee is all grassroots. Melee is all funded by the community, right? Nobody is in Melee for the money, because nobody makes money with Melee. Now that's kind of a shame, but that's also kind of a blessing. Like, kind of a blessing in disguise, in my opinion. Because it also makes it so that everybody in there is passionate as all hell. Everybody's playing because they believe in it, and this is what they want to do. And it's because to them, it's the greatest thing in the world. Aw, no shaker. Wow. None of us died? How did none of us die? That's absurd.
A touch of venom.
What the fuck? Should I get the Poison Nova duration or this one? What do you guys think? I kind of want to get the Gale instead. Like, I want to get Gale.
Violet Vance. This'll come in handy.
Yeah, I'll get Gale. I don't really think we need more duration. It's just not... I want to go for the Gale build. You know, I want to get the wards going and all of that shit. Like, I know it's greedier, but... I don't know. Anyway. Oh, people are wondering what the game is that I'm telling you about. It's called Super Smash Bros. Melee. Oftentimes you see it written like this, or people will just call it Melee. Super Smash Bros. Melee. SSBM. There's a tournament coming up this week called Full Bloom. I believe 6, and then very soon there's going to be Smash Summit 6 as well. Which you should absolutely go watch. I know I will be watching.
With Vim, my loyal ward.
What do I buy? I think I do get Octarine actually. I gotta be greedy, right? Gotta be greedy here. I'm actually really impressed that we're still alive.
A touch of Venomancer.
Oh, and by the way, the game I'm talking about is a 15-year-old game for the Nintendo GameCube. Just in case, you know. Yeah. I feel like for people that don't actually know what the game is, that might be relevant information. It's not actually 15 years old. At this point, it's 17 years old. Sorry. It's a 17-year-old game for the Nintendo GameCube. So, yeah.
Yes. Quick as venom. Yes.
I dropped a shit ton from stash. Oh, we got a problem. Have some words, boys!
I'm under attack.
No regrets. I think we lost. I shouldn't have bought that many wards. Oh no. Hello. Yeah, it should be done soon. I'm honestly surprised that we're still alive. It's kind of crazy. I think that's gonna come to an end here though. So I'll be right done. Oh rip, yeah. I think that might be it, guys. Ooh. Hey, we got the tiny helping out. Honestly, I think this went pretty well, all things considered. Hey, Baumi, can you watch my new meme? It's called Baumi tries to delete Tinker. Why is it Seinfeld now? I don't get it. Okay, I actually just don't understand. Frey, I don't understand. That's just too advanced. Those memes are far too advanced for me. By the way, I think the last fight would have gone a lot better if I had the 7... No, actually no, never mind. 7 seconds duration would have done anything.
As you say.
Oh well.
Yes. I'm not ready.
+1 for FREJ memes.
Oh shit, I'm done. Hey Bob! Thanks man, appreciate it.
This battle isn't over yet. Your mid tower.
Well, that's it. Well, we lost. That was still fun. Like, I don't know, I had fun telling you the beautiful story of the Melee community. Hey, Dehai143, thanks for the sub, man. Appreciate it. Alright, just get it over with, come on. Took you long enough to get to this point. You don't really get to swag about needing 40 minutes to win a 4 vs 5 game. Like, nobody's impressed with you. Absolutely nobody. Alright. Come on, man. Oh, this takes forever. I hate that this takes so long. I care so little about it, and it takes so long. Yeah. I mean, we were actually doing kind of alright, but there's just no way, man. 4 versus 5 is just not fair. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, don't forget to leave a rating on the video. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.